Germany stands at the center of Europe. Its rivers, forests, and cities have shaped the continent's story. Today, Germany is known for reliability, invention, and democracy. But you know, beneath the calm surface lies a dramatic and ancient tale. The modern German state is actually quite young, born in 1871. Yet, its culture and ideas are centuries old. Think of Beethoven's music, Goethe's poetry, or Bauhaus design. German thinkers and makers have shaped how the world lives and dreams. Yet Germany's history is not just a story of achievement. It is also a lesson in tragedy, loss, and renewal. The scars of war and division are still close. The memory of the Berlin Wall is fresh for many, a reminder of how quickly Europe can change. To understand Germany's present, we must travel back. The journey begins in shadowy woods and the clash of swords, where Europe's destiny was forged in the dark heart of the ancient forests. Long before Germany was a nation, its lands were home to scattered tribes. Dense forests and winding rivers shielded these people from outsiders. Names like the Suebi, Cherusci, and Alemanni echo through ancient tales. They lived in wooden villages, worshipped nature, and answered to warrior chiefs. The Roman Empire, hungry for land and order, marched into these wild lands. In 9 AD, disaster struck in the Teutoburg forest. Arminius, a Germanic leader, lured Roman legions into an ambush. 3 mighty armies vanished into the mist and leaves. Rome's dreams of conquest ended in mud and blood. This victory echoed for centuries. It marked the edge of Rome's world. The Rhine became a border, dividing civilization from the barbarians. But these tribes were not simple savages. They had their own laws, art, and courage. The story of the Germanic tribes is the story of resistance. Rome never returned. In these shadowed woods, the seeds of a future nation were sown, stubborn, proud, and fiercely independent. The next chapter begins with a conqueror, Charlemagne. Born in 742, he became king of the Franks. His armies swept across Europe, uniting lands from the North Sea to Italy. In 800 AD, the Pope crowned him emperor in Rome. This act revived the dream of a Western empire. Charlemagne was more than a warrior. He built schools, encouraged learning, and called for the copying of ancient books. His court gathered scholars from all over Europe. Latin was the language of power, but Germanic customs shaped daily life. Under Charlemagne, the idea of a German land took shape. His empire did not last, but his legacy did. After his death, the realm was divided, and the eastern part, East Francia, became the heart of later Germany. Charlemagne's legend grew with each century. He became a symbol of unity, faith, and ambition, a model for future kings and a memory that would haunt German history. From Charlemagne's heirs rose the Holy Roman Empire. It was neither holy, nor Roman, nor truly an empire, but it endured for almost 1,000 years. The emperor held a grand title, but real power rested with hundreds of princes, bishops, and free cities. Germany was a land divided. Castles dotted the hills. Each region had its own laws and rulers. Yet, there was a shared culture, the German language, chivalric values, and love of learning. The empire became a stage for artists, poets, and builders. The great cathedrals of Cologne and Bamberg reached for the sky. Universities in Heidelberg and Leipzig filled with scholars. Yet, rivalries and shifting alliances led to endless feuds and wars. No single king could unite all of Germany's patchwork lands. This era left a legacy of regional pride and diversity. But it also meant that Germany lacked unity, a weakness and a strength that would shape its destiny for centuries. In 1517, a German monk shook the world. Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to a church door in Wittenberg. He challenged church corruption and demanded reform. His words unleashed a storm. The Reformation split Germany. Princes chose sides, some for Luther's new ideas, some for Rome. Wars of religion followed, tearing towns apart. But Luther's Bible in German gave people a common language. Faith and words became weapons and bridges. Luther's ideas spread quickly, thanks to the printing press. Debates raged in marketplaces and palaces alike. The Protestant North and Catholic South shaped not just faith, but identity. Germany became a battleground of conscience. The Reformation's impact went beyond religion. It made Germans think for themselves. It sowed seeds of division, but also of freedom. The echoes of Luther's hammer can still be heard in German culture today. The fires of faith soon consumed the land. From 1618 to 1648, the 30 Years' War ravaged Germany. Armies from every corner of Europe marched, burned, and killed. Cities crumbled. Fields turned to graves. 1 in 3 Germans died. When the war finally ended, the land was shattered. The Peace of Westphalia recognized hundreds of tiny states, each jealously guarding its freedom. Germany became a map of fragments. Yet, from the ruins, 2 powers began to rise: Austria and Prussia. Austria, ruled by the Habsburgs, held the imperial crown. Prussia, tough and disciplined, built a mighty army. The rivalry between these states would define the future of Germany. Ambition and reform clashed with old loyalties and borders. Despite the devastation, Germans rebuilt. New ideas took root: science, philosophy, and music flourished. Out of the ashes, a new Germany was waiting to be born. The 19th century brought revolution and hope. People dreamed of one nation, strong and free. But rulers clung to their states. Only force could break the chains of the past. That force was Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor. Bismarck was clever, ruthless, and patriotic. He used war as a tool, against Denmark, Austria, and finally France. Each victory brought German lands closer together. In 1871, after the defeat of France, German princes met at Versailles. They crowned Wilhelm I as Emperor of a new, united Germany. The country changed overnight. Railways spread, factories rose, cities swelled. Germany became an industrial powerhouse. Bismarck ruled with skill, balancing progress with harsh control. His legacy was a strong but wary nation. Yet, unity came at a price. Old rivalries and new ambitions simmered beneath the surface. The seeds of future conflicts were already planted in this moment of triumph. Germany's new strength soon brought disaster. In 1914, a web of alliances dragged Europe into World War I. German soldiers marched east and west. The fighting was brutal and endless. By 1918, Germany was defeated, exhausted, and humiliated. The Treaty of Versailles demanded harsh reparations. The years after the war were chaotic. The Weimar Republic struggled with inflation, strikes, and violence. In this turmoil, Adolf Hitler rose to power. His promises of greatness and revenge led Germany into darkness. The Nazi regime unleashed World War II and the horror of the Holocaust, murdering millions. Defeat in 1945 split Germany in two. The West rebuilt under democracy and American aid. The East became a communist state, ruled by Moscow. The Berlin Wall divided families and dreams, a symbol of the Cold War's iron grip. For decades, Germany was a nation divided, one part searching for freedom, the other for order. But the longing for unity never died. In 1989, the world watched in awe. Crowds gathered at the Berlin Wall, chanting for change. With hammers and hope, they tore down the barrier. Germany was whole again. Reunification in 1990 brought joy and challenge. Old wounds needed healing. The East and West had grown apart. Germany faced its past with honesty. Memorials to the Holocaust, museums of history, and lessons in schools taught remembrance and responsibility. The nation rebuilt, becoming Europe's economic engine and a champion of democracy. Today, Germany stands for tolerance, innovation, and peace. It welcomes refugees, invests in green energy, and leads in science and culture. Its people remember their past, but look forward with courage. Germany's journey is not just its own. It is a lesson to the world. about the dangers of hate, the power of unity, and the endless possibility of renewal. The story of Germany belongs to everyone, a reminder that from forest shadows titans can rise.